went down, right?
Yeah.
I lost everything, fell off
He was about to
completely.
kill
About to kill myself. It's a real story. This is a real story. This isn't a joke. Why are you smiling?
We've all been there.
Okay. Why is he smirking in the background? Wednesday. Reaction. Yeah. 9 to 5 versus streamers. Correct. Okay. First upload from stream. Do me a favor. Everybody say hi. You guys are going to be the co-host. Hola. Hi, YouTube. Okay. I don't know if you guys know who Bose is. Boze. I watch Bose, and my inspo from this, they do body cam footage. So that's where the inspo for this came. Bose has this similar setup where you guys end up being co-hosts. For context, I know nothing about Faze Clan. This looks very like Jubilee inspired. We're gonna react to 9 to 5 workers versus streamers debate, and the context I can give you is that as someone who worked in corporate, still is in the corporate world, that's my perspective, but has been streaming for the last almost year consistently. We're kind of on both sides, so we'll see. We're gonna see what's up. We're gonna see if we have any takes to contribute. Yeah, let's get into it.
What's up? How's it going?
Same old different day.
James, occupation, mail carrier. So he's literally out there. He's literally out there. Already a wild intro. It has to be. They have to get us in somehow. Ooh. Okay. Hold on. I'm moving us.
Oh. Carrier. I'm a milk carrier, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. I get treated like shit every motherfucking day.
We
I'm
have to
still
deal with
slaving
thousands,
every day.
tens of thousands of people
Bullshit.
critiquing every little thing we do, every
Man.
decision we make, every thought
You
we
guys
have.
got it made.
I guess the good question here is, do you think dealing with people being difficult, whether it's hate online or like being rude, violent, like physically harmful, whatever, do you think it's worse to receive that kind of treatment in person or behind a screen? I guess that's kind of the question that they're already setting up. So that's kind of hard. The problem with, like, I would say the streaming side is it could get personal. Like, it could, like, you might have people that know you and watch you consistently, and now they know maybe some of your insecurities, and like they're going to kind of say the thing that's gonna hit the hardest. But then on the other side of it, I don't know how I would react if I was like just walking on the street and a random person who I don't know what they're capable of was to be like crazy.
I got dogs that want to bite my ass
And
every
you have
day.
lunch breaks. You have lunch breaks. We don't have breaks. We're on 24/7.
You like guaranteed pay.
Guaranteed pay if you
No,
work.
I
That's
don't.
your decision if you don't want
I
to work.
gotta work at the job for
If
years.
I don't go live, I don't get
just
paid
to
either.
collect.
We don't got to deal with people spamming L's.
Yes, we have
Huh?
people in the chat.
People spamming L's? Girl, please! Do have to deal with like your boss who might hate you. You might have to go in every day and report into somebody that's like, you don't know what you're doing even if you do. Like, what? You know, they knew what they were doing with that one. Hold on. Technically, in a workplace, you have some protections, right? Some protections. HR doesn't always come through the way you think HR would come through. That, I think, is a realization of a lot of people who work in corporate, that like HR still at the end of the day is like meant to protect the company, not necessarily the employee. But there's still like legality, because if they really fumble, if they really mess up, you could get an attorney. You can like do the things that you need to do to protect yourself. As a streamer, security's coming out of your budget. If somebody's crazy, they want to do something to you, yeah, you can block the first account. You can't block the all 87 accounts if they want to come and harass you. And it's been documented that like I've seen this through streamers with like bigger platforms, massive platforms, that they talk about the fact that until something happens, the law is not getting involved. So until somebody physically harms you, the threats of the physical violence have to be so specific before anyone gets involved. That is not the case in a workplace. But again, his job's a little different, where like the problems are also coming from the outside, not just like internally.
Get called fat all the time.
Oh, so what? I get called fat and chubby. All my homeboys call me chubby, fat.
Well,
What?
I get called fat all the time. Everybody knows this, that behind the faceless accounts, sometimes behind the protection of technology, you can kind of say anything to anybody, right? Like, So because of that, you're always going to get it more consistently. The bigger the platform, the more often it's likely to happen. Sarah is an ex-chef.
I was actually a cook for 15 years. So that means for 15 years, I had to get up practically every day, get dressed, go to work, and I had to deal with not only adults, but I also had to deal with children.
We deal with children every day, too.
We deal with tens of
I like how she said that, like, we had to deal with the kids.
You lost completely all your YouTubers. You had nothing. No one watched you anymore.
Your
I didn't even
YouTubers?
watch you anymore. What would you have to do? You would have to actually
You're not watching them, you liar.
have to go to work.
Oh,
Did I just cuss at you?
that's a slur. If I did lose all my followers, I would probably buy a couple houses and start my real estate empire.
Okay, so then you would have to actually go to work. You would actually have to go to the office.
And let's say you're a cook, right? Let's say you got fired. You have hundreds of people lined up. You can go cook over here, cook over there. You could be a private chef. You could be a private chef. Exactly. I don't have that security.
I was a cook in the school system. I cooked all frozen food.
But you still cook. You still cook. You go cook for another school.
There's like so many points when you go back and forth. So on the idea of job security and him basically saying like you can go pick up and get another job, depending on your line of work, that is not the case. Like I can tell you right now, corporate is in shambles. Like you had the what was it called? It was called the Major Resignation in 2020, where people were basically like, was it 2020? Anyway, the major Resignation was a moment where corporate workers were like, oh no, we hold the power. Like we are gonna dictate what we want, and they were all leaving these corporate offices in like droves. Now everything's been flipped on its head, and now they are able to make a really competitive market, and you have people who can't find anything for a year, 2 years. On the flip side of that, your account can get deleted tomorrow. The platform, the TikTok ban, it can all be gone in a moment. And there's nothing you could do about it, and you have to rebuild if you want to keep going.
It's a falling off.
My name is Rhonda. I'm a registered nurse from the South.
Going up against the RN is crazy.
A 9 to 5 is much harder. I had to work 7 to 3, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I had to support my daughter.
Rhonda, can I ask you a question?
Nope.
Have you ever done a
What are you gonna say to a registered nurse? What are you gonna say to someone who is saving lives? What could you possibly have to say?
Your mama and daddy keep giving it to you.
Rhonda, I got a question for Rhonda. Rhonda, have you ever done a subathon?
What's a subathon?
Girl, okay.
30 days straight.
24.
They're not always 30 days straight. Relax. We've had our first subathon. Never would I compare my 15-hour subathons. We had 2 of them back to back with a 7-hour break in between. Never would I compare those subathons to somebody's work in healthcare in these graveyard back-to-back 3-day shifts. Okay, not even graveyard, regular like 12-hour shifts, because the work that they're doing in that time, people's lives are in their hands. Get out of my face.
We're saving thousands, you're saving one.
We're saving thousands? Wait a damn second. No. You think you're saving thousands of lives with the streams? Okay, hold on. Mental health is important. Mental health is very important. But, okay, the impact of their audiences, I get it. But your mental health versus you physically being in a hospital, getting aid, I can't. I'm not.
About what people
I want to answer to you, Katie. Saving one is disrespectful to say to a nurse. It's disgusting to say that to a nurse. But let that one be you. Let that one be your loved one, your family member, your anything. Like, girl, you're nuts. No.
And that's
this
big
take is
problem
for
with
sure
young
rage.
people. You care about what people think. So
But touche on the rage bait. But damn.
media.
I would even go as far to say as every person in this room, we keep them employed as well. Because here's the thing, we get sponsors from these companies that have 9-to-5s, right? These companies, hold on. These companies are not viable without influencers to push the brand and keep them in business.
Have you ever worked a real job?
No.
That's an interesting point. So they're talking like brand partnership and collaboration. The use of influencers is more recent, right? Celebrity endorsements came before that. To say that like these brands would not survive without your kind of marketing is a little crazy. That could be true for some, but that's not necessarily the case for all.
So how would you
See,
know?
I have worked a real job.
What was your real job?
I worked 8 months. I worked a double. I worked Walmart and Panera at the same time for a year.
At least he's had a real job. At least he's had a real job. I know, you know this, he deep down agrees to a certain extent. He's playing really, really good for the other side. Carrying viral clips. On Twitch, he boasts around 3.4 million followers, averages 23K viewers per stream. As someone who's newer, do you even know what they're saying? At 23, and I guess that's part of like the difficulty in their job, is that how do you understand that your community is appreciating what you're doing when there's so many of them? Like, that's something I don't think I can wrap my head around entirely. Like, how do you know that they're into it when there's 23,000 opinions? Like, imagine being a mod. You're relying on tech. Like, you were entirely relying on tech at that point to help you out with modding that kind of... You need an army! Anyway.
Why do you think a 9-to-5 job is not harder than what you do?
Well, you're guaranteed to pay.
Guaranteed to pay?
Yeah.
And that makes it harder?
Yeah. No, it makes it easier for you
Makes
guys.
it easier because we have a guaranteed pay.
100%.
How so?
Well, it's because you're guaranteed and you don't need any...
Guaranteed money says nothing to the content of the work. I can get guaranteed 20 an hour, but my work could be fighting those, like, pipes for the oil, like, facilities. Even though I think they get more than 20, because that's really dangerous. But that says nothing. Yeah, okay. This makes no sense. All right.
Crazy knowledge. You don't need to go to school for most jobs, like certain things like a 9-to-5. If you wanted to go work at Foot Locker, I could go to Foot Locker, apply, and then next thing you know, I'm selling shoes for pay every single hour.
But he is also not refuting the fact that, like, stable income is a big factor for why people don't necessarily go do the things they want to do. Like, without a doubt. Whether it's streaming, whether it's being an artist, whether it's acting, whatever it is that a part of your brain wants to do, maybe full-time if the opportunity was there. A lot of people are deterred by the fact that it's not secure. Like, especially today, when the prices for things just keep going up and we never see them come back down. So he's not really refuting that part. Like, he's not tackling that.
If the work is picking up a phone or turning on a camera as opposed to going in with a bunch of people.
Okay, this is a part that I think gets lost on a lot of people, is that, and I think this goes for a lot of jobs, even on the, like, corporate side as well. You see somebody's job, whether it's like an influencer, think of it like this, like, what's a good example of like a fun job on the corporate side? I guess a fun job on the corporate side is like, wouldn't you love to be the social media manager for Tarte? They have those brand trips, right? So the assumption is that the Tarte social media manager gets to go on the brand trips. Okay? For those of you that don't know, Tarte is a makeup brand. Just, they're known for their brand trips that go to like Bora Bora and like anywhere else in the world, or the Maldives. So the comparison there is like, you as someone who's like, I'm gonna go be a corporate girl boss. You are looking at that person's job and you're like, oh my gosh, you get to go to Bora Bora. And then what they come back and tell you is like, that is 20% of my job. The rest of the 80% is the chasing down influencers and their contracts, or throwing the ideas and getting every single one thrown back at me by my boss. having to budget and like all these other aspects. That goes also for this kind of content, like that being your work. The content stuff, depending on like what it is you're doing, might only sometimes be, because think of like a Vanilla Mace. Like, we love a Vanilla Mace. Vanilla is streaming 3 days of the week, okay? Larger platform, but 3 days of the week is where the fun stuff happens. So the stream itself is the fun stuff. After that, it could be management meetings. They're talking about now you employ people, like worrying about how you're taking care of your own business because you are now the business. But yeah, there's like things that he's representing that he's basically like, here's all the fun things you do, without talking about the back end, without talking about what happens when you're only doing the 20%. Given again for some streamers, when he's talking about like a 30-day subathon, your 20% is now your 80%, but like they still have to get work done in between. Angelina is an executive assistant. Let's go, corporate.
And I work as an executive assistant.
You're right. You're right. She's right. Hang on. She's right. She's right. I'm not gonna lie. She's right.
They have assistants, so they know what they put their assistants through. That's why they're giving up right away.
So you said 14 you started. I started at 16. For about 3 years, I was making money, and it slowly went super up, and then all of a sudden it went down, right? I lost everything, fell off completely. About to myself. It's a real story. This is a real story. This isn't a joke. Why are you smiling?
We've all been there.
Okay. Why is he smirking in the background?
Not secure.
How is it not secure if you knew what you were going to do?
Nothing's secure.
Nothing's secure. You just proved my point. But you just proved my point.
No job is secure, but content creation gives you the ability to have those savings,
But
to have an audience. And even if you do lose all your followers one day,
Yeah.
even if
Let's
you
say I
lose,
lost it all tomorrow.
you still have residuals of your previous viral
But that's-
videos. Even if people are hating on
that's
you and
not
shitting on you,
necessarily-
that's still adding to what goes.
Not always. If you end up getting in like some kind of scandal, like bad enough, those can all get cut off. Everything can stop. So there's not security on either side. There's not security, but is there more security on one than the other? Yeah. There's laws that like once you get employed, you have certain protections. Can you still get fired? Can you still get laid off 1000%? Even after getting laid off, could you maybe not be able to collect unemployment? Also a possibility. Is the likelihood of that higher than falling off from content creation being like more stable? That's already, it's starting to get a little muddied. I think the room hates them.
Good, how you doing?
Alex.
Gabe.
Oh, college professor. Interesting. I've dealt with you.
Job. If you lose some followers because of something you say, you'll get other followers, and you have a large following enough where there's enough of a range of perspectives that people will always be on board for you as long as you're producing content. People who screw up at their jobs and lose their jobs, and maybe there's a recession, there's not a lot of jobs, as could be now, they get potentially homeless or worse.
You ever heard of cancel culture?
What's that? Yeah, of course I've heard of it. But how many people have
Okay, so, cancel culture, I think we've come to find out sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't. Are you up for scrutiny online from the masses? 1000%. Are you up for scrutiny from the masses at your job as a college professor? No. Like, you could also suffer scandal. Like, the whole college can find out you did something. The college, like, the UCs out here in California are like 35,000 students. Like, the whole campus might find out 35,000 is still a lot.
what you do? I mean, you guys do work, but you do not work as hard as people who have a regular job.
You don't know that.
I mean, no.
So, if we can recognize that, like, some people end up becoming these very large corporations and, like, these big entities, they do end up working hard because your success is motivated by you. Like, you are running the show, and what work you put in is proof, right? As a Mr. Beast. Are there people who are in the middle section who are working hard? Yeah, very likely. Are there people in the very bottom tiers of YouTube, of streaming, of anything working hard? Probably. And the ones who are at the bottom are probably doing it while holding a full-time job, working part-time, finding out what they're doing in between work. What this also is starting to come down to, being like almost halfway through the video, is the certain things, certain aspects of the work are hard. Harder is, I don't think, a fair like comparison.
My perspective is coming from a
Hair
hair
and
and
makeup
makeup artist. Physical job.
Your
Your
thing
job
is-
isn't
your
physically
thing is
taxing. You're just talking into a
So,
microphone.
so
And
physically, I physically
you're
can't
just
haul
talking
around
into a microphone.
bags of like makeup. You physically
That's not
could
what she's
never
saying.
trick shot. You could not hit a crane shot. You can't 1080. You can't hold a controller
Talk to her.
and make a 200K montage.
And
Physically,
you have
go
to do that for 12 hours a day.
Yes. Actually, yes.
When you're done doing that, is your job done? Do you have to go shopping and replace
You don't
all
know-
of the
wait,
things
wait,
that you
stop.
use?
No. Listen,
You have to
Vicky,
clean
listen,
all of
Vicky.
your gear.
You don't know about dry streaks. You don't know about hit markers.
But when you're done, you're
You
done.
don't know about
That was a terrible point. I would argue both sides. Her side is taxing because it's physically taxing. It like takes a toll on your body, and by the time you get home and you still have more things to do, it also is taxing internally. But that is kind of part of the problem too for streamers who you're expected to be on a good amount of time. Yeah, I think Kai Cenat even talked about how like if he got to get like to go outside for a day, it felt crazy. Like it felt like, oh my gosh, I forgot that the world exists and that there's daylight. So like that is an obstacle. Having to be responsible for your well-being in a position that is too lax is not necessarily as strenuous as a job that requires your physical body every day. I don't agree with that one.
If the Elgato wasn't on.
When
Can
you're
you
done, you're
imagine
done.
these things?
Oh my God, this same
The trick shot and the skill, bro, there's plenty of streamers who suck at whatever they do. A streamer in and of itself, I don't think anywhere it says if you suck at Fort, you can't stream. Like, stop looking at me.
sample.
Your main underlying argument here is what you do is physically
Daily, day to day.
Okay. Your main thing is what you do is physically more taxing and
Yeah.
hard than what any of us
And
do.
dangerous.
I could say the same thing. You cannot physically trick shot.
How many hours
guys
a
ever
day?
do.
How many hours
do
a day do you trick shot?
How many hours?
When I was trick shotting, it was 12 hours a day. It was however long I needed to. However
Every
long I
day, 12
needed
hours
to.
a day
However
trick
long I
shotting?
needed to hit a clip.
He carries a Barrett 50 cal and he jumps off of stuff.
I would have to get on Call of Duty, turn my sense all the way up to 1010. I would have.
Why? I don't know who that is in the back. Why do you make it sound like this man is physically out there doing the thing?
Yeah, but she also said it was dangerous. We could walk around IRL stream and someone could rob
Oh, thanks.
us or kill us. I gotta.
The IRL stream. The IRL stream conversation is like a concern.
They're laughing, but that's happened recently.
I've gotten a pumpkin thrown on my head by a crackhead.
Crackhead ran up to him on stream and almost
died.
Almost decapitated him.
It happened during one of my streams. I was playing Pokemon Go out in Santa Monica, and somebody pulled out, I don't know if I could say this, a knife, but they pulled out a Poke, and I was the one that saw it while I was on stream. Your attention is on what's happening twofold, because I'm paying attention to a stream and I'm paying attention to my game. And I was alone. I was by myself, because again, we were itty bitty streamer, but it happened. Like, we saw it, I was scared, and the only person I had to talk to was you guys, and I'm freaking out, telling you play by play what's going on, and my only other help is hopefully the bystanders near me. So yeah, girl.
My name is Thelma. It's a pleasure to meet
Belmont.
you, sir. I am very occupational. My last job, I worked as a librarian with elementary school children.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Yes, that's what we are. We're 9-to-5ers, and we interact and have energy with people. Where I don't think that you guys have that.
Why are you looking at her like that? Be nice. You better be nice. Why are you looking at her like that?
You have
Wait,
false
wait,
energy.
what was
Where
said?
I don't think that you guys have that.
You
have energy with people. Where I don't think that you guys have that.
We have energy.
You have false energy because you're across the screen.
You know that there's
There's millions of people.
Now I'm not gonna have all y'all gang up on me.
There's millions of people who watch the video. And
Yes.
save lives every
Yes.
day. Probably more than doctors.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes. There's people that literally stay alive because they want to watch our videos.
You know about going out.
That's crazy. Okay, who warned me about the rage bait for the last guy? Not the last guy, the guy before the last guy. That was crazy. That was nuts. That was nuts. People stay alive just to watch our videos. Girl, like, to say that you're helping someone's mental health is one thing. To proclaim, even if someone told you that you've saved their lives, to think that you have more of an impact than a doctor who can physically save you. Okay, I want to thank you, content creator. I now have the will to live. But oh shoot, would you look at that? My heart fell out of my stomach. Content creator, save me. What? Not that your heart's gonna fall out of your stomach, but like,
Trying to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning so you can get dressed.
Oh, don't do that.
Fun.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
And that's what's happening now. That's what's happening now with the whole world. It's a total disconnect. When you have a 9 to 5, you dealing with people. You touching people's hearts, souls, mind. No, you are not.
Do has not affected people. It's not real. How come when I go out in public and I meet someone and they're like, "Oh my God, wait, I loved your videos growing up. You were my childhood. I used to watch you every single day."
They're talking about the difference in what is impact to like impact people's lives, right? So to impact people's lives, as someone who works with kids, like I think back to some of my teachers, right? I'm thinking back to my teachers' assistants. I'm thinking back to like, they were important parts, like important people to me in certain parts of my life. What I think she wants to point out is there is a parasocial relationship that is not between her and the person who she is directly impacting. I 1000% understand that. But now on the other side of that, so the people the people that are there for you physically are there, and they, to the best of their ability and to the capacity that they can be there for you as a trusted adult, as a support of any kind. Now, because they care for you, whether it's their job, whether they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart, whatever it is, it's like that exists. You admire them and you've built a relationship. That can be true. And it can also be true that you found somebody online that impacts you because something about them resonates with you. And that you now, wherever you are in your life, go home and look forward to seeing them. And for streamers specifically, it's like the access to them, right? It's like the access to someone who is there to experience something with you at the same time. You're talking about different kinds of impact. Can you still like love and resonate with the people that you are meeting online? I've had plenty of relationships that like, they're one way. I'm just happy to see somebody. Like, I'm just happy to see there's so many things in you that I identify with, and I'm happy to see you grow and continue your mission and do your thing. And yeah, like that starts to get a little, I don't know, but I still like her. They're not getting to like the meat of what they're talking about for some of these. Like, and that's interesting because maybe it's their perspective, and that could also be like an oversight, but that could also be that maybe they are trying to get the rage bait out of it, and like being wrong helps the conversation continue. But yeah, there's like the meat of some of these that you need to get to the root of what are we really talking about. You're talking about impact.
Robbie, I'm a server at an Italian restaurant.
Come on, bro. Life's easy.
Oh, that's not
Okay,
fair.
girl.
He has the same menu, makes the same food every day, bro.
First thing I'm gonna say is nobody's gonna say being a nurse isn't hard, because my aunt was. That is the
My
most
mom
difficult
was.
shit. How are you gonna disrespect your mom like
No,
that,
she
dude?
is right now.
You're gonna
That, in the beginning, when they put that, I was like, oh, it's super ragey. Valid. That was valid to include this.
She said it's mad easy. She could work at 2 hospitals.
no disrespect, but what you do, I'm not your target audience. So break it down for me, because I don't even get it.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you something.
You just said I'm not your target audience because I'm black. That's what you just said.
All right, so what I said about, like, it was valid to include that clip, everything after just went to shit.
Up at 4 p.m., right? Now wake up. I gotta brush my teeth, right? Gotta make sure, because I got a lot of comments. Now, he don't brush his grills. What is
Sir, stop bobbing your head. Stop it.
his real teeth look like? I gotta make sure.
I don't want to hog the space here too much, but
No.
do you know the expression, give a man enough rope?
You're losing me.
Kill
No, I don't know this. I don't know.
Basically, you're talking yourself into a hole, man. Okay, my turn.
I was like, wait, what? Hello.
But what is it that you're doing that's helping other people?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Saving lives. I'm a superhero.
He's a hero.
I'm a superhero, no cape.
Okay, girl. All right. That one was hard. That one was not my fave segment. Okay. Oh, that's the head bobber?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Let's
How
go
are
head
you?
bobber.
You look great. You look
That's
great.
right. I'm Thelma again.
I believe 9 to 5 is harder. I mean, fuck.
All right, this is great, guys.
I can't have a public relationship because of the public eye and how they judge my relationships. I had a breakup with a girlfriend that I loved so dearly.
Honestly, fair point. Privacy, gone. Gone. But I will tell you, even in like the corporate side of things, you will have people that will like poke and prod into your life. Not on the same scale as like a streamer, but there are definitely bosses. I know on the corporate level, you guys can tell me anywhere else, they will be like, they want to know everything about you and they get offended if they don't know everything about you.
Question, if you think it's so much harder, why are you doing it?
Because I'm passionate about it.
Okay, so you love it. You love streaming. So do you love it more than you loved that girlfriend?
That's what I had to decide.
Oh.
I had to make sacrifice, and
So
that's
you-
what you have to
so
do.
you lost
with
the
streaming.
human touch.
But guess what? If I had a 9 to 5,
lost the human
if I was
touch
flipping burgers,
People do that for jobs too, though. People, if they get a good enough opportunity, sometimes like they'll get a job, they'll be like, we are gonna fly you out across the country, and now you have to decide if you take that opportunity or if you keep your relationships back home and like let that opportunity pass you by.
Okay, and then back to my point. Is that your choice? Was that your choice?
But that's not the point, though. The
No,
point is
that's my point. That's my point.
streaming is harder
Was
than
that
9 to 5. That's the point.
You gave up your girlfriend for streaming? Come on now.
Shit, he ran up a bag. He
Yeah.
ran up a
He did it for
bag.
a bag. You did it.
That didn't help. If you thought that was help, if that was for content purpose, sure. Again, the meat and potatoes would have been a conversation about privacy. Even though I think her question was good, she basically was like trying to force the conversation of like, did you have a choice? Did you have a choice? Money over the person you love, that's wild. It happens more often than you think, even aside from streaming or not. It happens for people who are working these jobs and they get crazy promotion. Nuke Squad members, he broke into the top 250 of Warzone 3 rank. This is stats that only gamers and like competitive gamers at that would be like, whoa. His clinched a pivotal victory. Huh? In the WSOW qualifier. I don't know. This is starting to be jargon. Securing him 1 million purse with his loadout strategy. Do you mean bag?
I'm a professional model, but
Professional model.
Okay.
I've worked since I was at the age of 14.
Okay.
I was a gamer too. You get home and you're thinking, what am I going to do with my life while you were gaming? You're like, oh, let's put a
I was
camera.
16, so it wasn't really like
yeah,
that.
you weren't really thinking of what should I do with my life, like what should I study, what should I like, where does my life go? You just got lucky.
It's not luck. It's
because-
just he's determined. He knows that's the only route.
He didn't get lucky. He put in hours.
Yeah, no.
That's what we do too. We go to
it
school,
wasn't
we
luck.
study.
Everybody's a little bit of luck. I think people who don't have a job, they feel they want to get lucky by getting a.
Well, hold on. You can say luck, like, okay. Even on the corporate side of things, the timing and the right opportunity, which like those things when they work together, you could call that luck, can also change your life.
All right, let me give my statistics. There was over 300,000 people that played Warzone last year. This is the game that I play.
Okay.
I got 4th. So I was a top 12 player across the entire world.
And you're telling him
So that's not luck. That's
like
pure
less than
that's pure
1%.
skill.
So you're dismissing, is Michael Jordan lucky? Is LeBron James lucky?
Yes.
Are they lucky?
I mean,
no,
they have a
work.
talent. They have a talent.
There's politics to getting on certain teams. There is. There could be players who can keep up. And that's why sports is so interesting sometimes. There are trades that happen. There are things that happen that would contribute to why certain players land in certain places. And like, because you're this kind of player on this kind of team, all of a sudden you're standing out and you are now the legend that you are. So that's nuanced.
So what do you do, bro? It's not luck. I've been doing this for 13 years. I uploaded 3,000 videos. 2,000 was I edited myself while I went to college, worked a job, and still went to school.
And yeah,
So that's not. I mean, if that's fucking.
That part, and that's another aspect that is why this is nuanced. There could be someone better than him that just didn't do the thing he did. That there could be someone who's more skilled. He said he's like, what, top 12 or something? 1 through 11 might not be as successful as him. Whether you measure success monetarily, whether you measure success in where his career is, there could be somebody that just didn't put the work in. So now you utilized an opportunity, you were in the right place to do the thing. Anyway. If luck was a skill, Lana would get MVP in Rivals. Okay. Alright. I mean, I can't refute. It sounds like he has obviously some skill in his game. So, again, but here's the thing. Like, she's not wrong where she's saying a lot of talented people might not get the shot. I don't disagree with that. But that goes for 9 to 5 as well. That's not exclusive to content. That's not at all exclusive to that side of things.
If that's luck,
where's the luck at in that equation?
Again.
Is there a percentage? We are all lucky in some way, right? If we all have a job, we're lucky in some sort of way. But
God bless.
off of specific pure talent. And I worked on that since I was 16.
Again, I work with many talented people. I'm not saying about you.
Yeah.
Just talk in general. And there's so many people that are very talented, never get a shot because they don't do the right thing. They don't go the right path. They don't meet the right people. So there are so many even talented actors here. They never get a shot. So I'm just saying it's pure luck.
It wasn't luck.
She said talented actors here. For the people that in the beginning of the video were like, I don't think these are real 9 to 5ers. Which actually, but again, I'm sure these people have worked real jobs.
It took me 8 years to make it a career. Is there something funny?
It's a freaking video game.
It's a talent.
Permission to dick ride? Hey, he's made tens of millions of dollars playing video games, so.
Exactly, that's that privilege. That's that privilege.
But I'm saying though, you couldn't hop on a game and do what I do.
You couldn't do it.
That's a skill.
Your son couldn't do it. Your grandkids couldn't do it. Your son's grandkids could never do it. They could never do it.
Okay, relax.
The genes are done. They can't do it. They can't.
Okay, that's where you're wrong. I hope her grandkid comes back and whoops your butt at a game. They all crashing out. Yeah, they're starting to a little bit. Realistically, like, could she get up and do the thing he does? I'm gonna say, I don't know, but they're not wrong. Like, do the thing. Do the thing. Like, try to do the thing. And then maybe you would have a different appreciation for it. But to be the whole lineage can't do it, to think that you're that special, though, over other people, that's where that starts to get kind of crazy.
Great.
Do you not think if you're talented at something, it's a God-given gift?
Video games is not. Like
You don't think you don't think it's talent.
You're just too old to understand.
I can't.
There are people who are of various ages who will understand exactly where you're coming from. Don't do that. You don't need to attack their age. You need to be honest about the fact that they're missing something. Because clearly they don't even recognize, ma'am, you're not going to dispute a how many $1 billion industry. Just because you're not familiar enough with it. You can't do that. You know how much money they're making out here of gaming? Just forget the people who do the gaming. The industry of gaming itself. Just the selling of the game. The people who make the game. The companies, the orgs. The massive industry that it is. You're behind. You're behind. Not you pointing the finger. Put that down.
I gotta keep it a buck. There's a disconnect. You come from a generation where this didn't exist. It's career.
But in you pointing out that it didn't exist is also you needing to recognize there is opportunity that there isn't always or hasn't always been. And that you are lucky to have existed at a very specific time and to have been able to utilize the opportunity. Whether you have the skill or not, that was the first thing. The first thing is that it needed to be where it was. When you start talking about the fact that when they started it, maybe it wasn't as competitive or maybe people were not taking it as seriously and that was the opportunity they got to jump in on. So, yeah, girl. Do that because they are used to streaming and gaming, so him yelling, "You can't do it, your grandkids can't do it," like you can't just know how to be a nurse right off the bat. It takes practice. Yeah, that's also that's the gamble you take as an adult, like into your adult and with your career is, okay, I'm going to put a certain amount of my time, I'm going to invest in a certain lane in hopes that it pans out. And that's sometimes where you need to be smart about like what chasing your dreams looks like, right? Let me get some stability is usually what people do, right? You go to school, you get a degree, you get a job. That is, from what we know, usually is like the most stable thing you can do. But there are people who are willing to bet on a different lane, and they're like, I think I can survive off this and I'm going to keep investing my time. And then you have the people who like chase their dreams, and at some point you kind of have to look at them and be like, hey, so like you put in a lot of time, are you getting any return on the thing you put a lot of time into? So here you have people who put in a lot of time on gaming, streaming, that God forbid if any of that falls out, do you have anything to fall back on? So yeah.
Now, how come in colleges they're teaching courses on content creation and esports? When you grew up, this didn't exist, so no wonder you're gonna laugh when you hear this shit, because you're from a completely different generation. You just don't get it, and I don't know if you ever will be able to wrap your head around it.
And it's fun, but it's like,
And that's
again,
okay.
For the sake of the video, it's okay to say it like that, but if you ever talk to anybody like that in a casual room, that's where that's not okay. I hope that when you are in a room, you are far more gracious. I don't know this person, so I can't say. But like, yeah, this also could be purely for entertainment. They could be trying to rile my butt up, because now I'm getting pissed. Oh, not NA!
Talking about job security, are you familiar with layoffs, with being furloughed? Like, taking it back to... That's being... What? What does that even mean?
You lose everything. Every dollar. Everything. You lose everything.
Okay, and then you can rebuild yourself back. You
The same way you can do if you get laid off. You get a
yeah,
new
that's
job.
it's kind
okay.
of is it not the same concept? Like,
I don't know. Back in 2020, when everybody was getting furloughed, everybody was like, "Oh, let me go to social media." That's kind of an easy alternative. So that seems kind of easy.
I know, but if you lose a job, you can't.
You just get another one?
No, you can search for. You have an opportunity to search for another one. No?
Okay, I've been searching for another one for 10 months. I interview every day, give the same spiel, have to give that smile of walking through my resume.
I uploaded videos for 7 years and barely got any views.
And did you uploaded 7 videos and didn't get any views?
Went to school, and still.
And paid rent?
Yes, I still worked. I worked.
Oh, so that you had another job?
As a parking attendant, yes.
Okay, and was that harder?
Then what?
Than streaming?
No, I was on my phone all the time.
Oh, as a parking attendant, that doesn't sound like you were doing a very good job.
I was chilling.
You were chilling. You weren't good at your
He's
job.
waiting for...
Yeah, when cars park, they're done. Like it doesn't.
Okay.
I don't have to.
Well,
I'm not security.
That's
I just
a
go.
one
I go like this. I go like this. Yo, right there. I bet. Like a video game.
Yeah. Okay. That was good.
Playing video games is a talent.
I would say it's a skill. I wouldn't call it a talent. You can master it with,
But people millions play video games, but there are very few people who are genuinely gifted at it.
Gifted? What are they, Mozart?
Wait! Wait! I like her.
You know what? I'm open to it being a talent. I think it's a skill. I think it's something you can master. I don't think you're a Mozart, that you have this gift of like, whoa, and I put my thumb here and this thumb there and do this.
Disagree. Then this goes for people who work in the 9 to 5. This goes for people on the streaming side. There are 2 groups of people, without a doubt. The ones that study and the ones that watch and the ones that learn from others, and then the ones that are able to find it naturally. And I take that back. There's 3. There's the ones that have both. So I think without a doubt, anything can be studied. Whether you do well.
It's not a talent.
I said it's a skill. I didn't say it's a talent. I said it's a skill. It's a skill that
But
you can own.
how do you know if it's easy if you haven't done it? Like if you don't.
I played Mario Kart. I've played other games. What does it take to be on that level?
Just gift, and you got to play all
Just
the time.
gift?
Tens of thousands of hours of work
Uh-huh.
and editing and filming and constantly having.
No, TJ, I think you have this wrong. I think she is kind of brushing them off a little bit. Because again, I really do think there's people who can study, there's people who have talent, like naturally, and there's people who do both, and they have both. but think of back to you in like high school math. I sucked at math, okay? For the life of me, I would smash my head into the book, okay? I could not pick it up. Were there very basic things I could learn and just like grasp that? Yeah. But then I'd look over a desk and you have Bobby over here who's throwing around God knows what, looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, and then there's the combination of the students who'd be like, maybe I don't get it 1000%, but I do get some of it. And I'm gonna learn the parts of it that I don't really entirely get.
Zone tarping, could you?
I have no idea what you said.
Could you get a refresh going into second zone with no mats? Can you get a refresh on the best players? You
I
couldn't.
can also I can circle back and give
Do you know how to
different
short
terms
launch pad?
from
When you're
my
trying to get to third
industries.
zone, third moving, do you know how to short
No,
launch
I
it?
don't, but
Yeah, and throwing random terms at her isn't proving a point. Like, again, this is going from like, you have two different perspectives that aren't even meeting in the middle. Entertainment value, yes. For the sake of the conversation, no.
Exactly, you couldn't, but Excel sheet? We could do Excel sheet.
No, but exactly.
They're just talking.
Y'all gotta explain these terms! Tell them, Thelma!
They're just talking game.
These
As
refreshes
a
don't come to you.
babysitter, I can talk to you about the different things I do and ask you, could you do that? No, but if you wanted to, you would.
If us four,
I think if you wanted to, you can try. That part. Each 9-to-5 worker will now give their final thoughts on if streaming is actually more difficult.
I appreciate and respect what they do, and I think that's the consensus for most of us, that we appreciate and respect where they are. But it's not, what we did was, we just feel like what we did was harder. And that's what I think.
My mind was changed in the sense that now I'm even more convinced that normal jobs are harder.
Final thoughts? Final thoughts on the 9-to-5 workers versus streamers debate? What's harder? I don't think there is a conclusive answer to what's harder. If I could speak personally from my perspective, as someone who's a very itty bitty streamer, I think that there are pros to traditional 9-to-5 work. I think that there are cons to traditional 9-to-5 work. That there are freedoms in streaming that you will never see on the 9-to-5 side, but there are also hurdles to streaming that you will only uniquely find here. So, I don't know. But I do think comparing, again, two CEOs, compare the 9-to-5 CEO versus like a very successful Twitch streamer. That would be a really cool follow-up. That would be a really interesting follow-up. You're talking about people that, in the opinion of most, make way too much money. And now we gotta see. Both of their decisions affect other people. Like, it'd be interesting. Say bye to YouTube. Say bye, YouTube. Not me. Bye to YouTube. I'm editing this later. Say bye.